Hello everybody, welcome back to some more early morning barking, talking about BPD and NPD by somebody that has both. If you find the video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe and all of that stuff too. Thank you very much for doing that. I'm having trouble today. I've actually been having trouble for about 2 weeks, I think. Feels like that. Feels longer, but it's probably only about 2 weeks. And the best thing to do, I've found, is when these problems come about with making videos, the best thing to do is to make a video about the problem. And so that's what we're talking about today a little bit. And what it's all boiling down to is vulnerability. And how I'm not really wanting to feel it at the moment. With BPD, and indeed with NPD, if you're feeling particularly on the vulnerable side of narcissism, there are a lot of insecurities that you live with day to day. There are a lot of worries that you have. There are a lot of things that you go through to make life bearable and that you have to deal with. And it's tiring, to say the least, mentally and physically tiring. It wears you down. It stops you sleeping. It ruins your day. It's a vicious cycle that you get caught in. And when you're down there, feeling as bad as you can, I find it, personally, that's when things are the easiest to talk about. Because, as I said on the oversharing video, it's kind of a cry for help, right? It's kind of, I will just tell you what you want to know. Please, just help me. Help me feel better. And so it's easy to talk about stuff. It's easy to share stuff. And it's easy to share that vulnerability and discuss your own shortcomings and your own problems and things that you've been through. But what I've found is that this feeling doesn't last. It too can be temporary, as many of the feelings that we have are in this situation. And I've found that as I start to get better and happier and more confident in myself and more comfortable with who I am and all of that stuff, I generally feel a lot less vulnerable. There's a lot less to attack here now because I'm comfortable with so much more. And so it's much more difficult to get in touch with that vulnerability. It's harder to talk about it. It's harder to let that guard down because it's not a guard anymore. It's something I actually genuinely feel good. I actually genuinely feel more confident and happier. It's not a front that I'm putting up. It's not a mask that I'm wearing on a day-to-day basis. I can't take it off. This is actually quite a positive thing now I talk about it, isn't it? This is going to be a positive thing. I'm actually sat here saying that I feel good. And so because of that, it's harder to get in touch with being sad or feeling angry. There have been so many small victories in life over the last couple of weeks and months that have just started to show that you can get better and feel good and get on with stuff and improve. And that vulnerability goes away. It's a very nice, warm and fuzzy feeling, I must admit, right? I suppose now, God, what's the point of this? To tell you it can get better? To tell you, hey, I feel better, you can. I mean, why the hell not, right? Really, why the hell not? I'm not special. I just got help, and now I feel better. Now it's okay, and I'm far less vulnerable. I'm further away from the sadness and the pain of it all. I'm further away from the frustration of it all. And I feel nice and balanced and together. Today in itself was a victory. I've been out trying to get my hands on a new phone today and was blocked at every turn by every possible thing until I eventually hit the unmovable object, right? The first shop you go to, we don't have any iPhones. Why would we have iPhones? This is a phone shop. Okay. Do any of the other phone shops have phones? And he went, no, none of the phone shops have phones. And that sounded a bit suspicious to me. So I left the store and I phoned the next closest phone shop. And he said, yeah, we've got phones. We're a phone shop. So I went to that phone shop and got the phone. And it was there. It was on the table in front of me. That was my new phone. And he went, right, I just need to see your driver's license or some other photo ID. And I thought, okay, fine. And I reached in my wallet and I pulled out my driver's license and I handed it to him. And he looked at it and he went, this is expired. Sorry, it doesn't count. And he gave it back. But it's a driver's license with a picture of me. It doesn't count. It's expired a week ago. I had no fucking clue. They last for like 10 years or something. So I last renewed it in 2010. Bad sideburns on the photograph, by the way. I'm glad they're gone. We're all glad they're gone. So he's like, have you got a passport? Not got a passport either. And I've certainly not brought it with me because I had a photo driving license. Why would I bring my passport with me? No phone. And by the way, your driver's license is expired. Deal with that. Did you drive here? Yes, I drove here. Now, the whole point of that story really is to say that at every point in that story, I may have gone nuclear like a year ago. Like, couldn't go back in the store nuclear. Too embarrassed to go back in the store nuclear. Right? Just being told we have no phones. They're a phone shop. Boom. Then the next one, you can't have the phone. The driver's license is expired. Explosion. And then rage. Because ultimately, if the guy can't take the expired license as ID, that's not his fault, right? I'm not talking to Mr. 3. I'm talking to Sarge in the Bradford 3-star. He's got bugger all to do with company policy, and getting angry at him isn't going to change anything, right? I need a new license. That's only on me. And I'd have raged at that. Just rage. Because what the hell can you do? You can't even blame anybody except yourself. My God, what sets off narcissistic rage more than that? But today, nothing. Nothing at all. Not even a little peep. The needle didn't move. I went and got my license renewed. It will come in the mail soon, hopefully, and then when it does, I'll go back to the store and get the phone. Done with. If I can do that, can you do that? You can do that. I just didn't get angry. It would have got me nowhere. What the hell am I even going to call this video? I was going with vulnerability. It doesn't like small victories. I don't know, answers on a postcard. So yeah, that's been my problem. I haven't felt very vulnerable. I remember now. Yeah. I haven't felt very vulnerable. And so it doesn't prevent me from talking about anything. It doesn't prevent me from making videos. But what it does mean is that I have to take a slight shift in the perspective from which I view these topics. And I have to detach from them a little bit and talk about them just a little bit separate from myself. Because, I mean, maybe that vulnerability will come back. Maybe I'll want to talk about stuff. Maybe there'll be things I'm happier discussing. But it's beginning to be a little bit more difficult to let the vulnerability out just at the moment. Like I said, it might come back. This is the fun bit, isn't it? Am I fixed? Who can tell? Only time will tell. And yeah. Anyway, I've got some things planned for next week, and hopefully it will be a lot better now I've had this sort of break. It's been good to have this chat, right? Because there's no group this week. Welcome to my group. This is what happens. You talk about shit until you realize, yeah, that's my problem, and I'll stop doing that, and it's all right now. You guys take care. I'll see you later. Bye.